This is the beer that wouldn't clear, but it's clear now, as you see. In this video we're gonna go through the brewing, how you brew it, and taste the beer. It got clear after some troubleshooting and yeah, mistakes. Let's kick it. I'm DrHans, this is DrHans Brewery, this is Chewy. My channel here about beer and home brewing. So this is a shake the glass video, it's an extract beer. This video is sponsored by Angel Yeast, so I use their BF27 lager yeast, really workhorse. And I also use their Brew Nutri yeast nutrient. Always treat your yeast. And I use this yeast quite a lot because I really enjoy this yeast. Before you watch the brewing footage, let's have a look at this beer. This is crystal clear. Can you see it? Crystal clear beer. But it wasn't. And I was quite surprised by it. I'm gonna go all through it because this was really important to me, because this is a DME beer. I also brewed an LME beer because some questions I got from viewers. So I want to do a side-by-side. When this didn't come out as clear as the LME, got me worried, will my experiment fail? But now it's clear, I can do the other video. But today we are concerning ourselves about this beer. This is the Shaken Pils. I also, of course, link down below to Angel Yeast Brewing product page. We can read more about this yeast, the Brew Nutri and all of the other brewing products. They also link down below to the recipe of this beer if you want to brew along, of course free of charge. But if you want to buy me a beer or buy Chewy a bone, there's an option there for you. Thank you so much. Before I dive into this gorgeous looking beer, let's watch some brewing footage. Let's get brewing. Clean and sanitized keg. Just gonna rush through this because I've done this so many times now and there are so many videos about the shake and brew here on my channel. And I will be using 1 kilo of light spray malt. And we'll be brewing an 8-liter batch in a 9-liter vessel. So that will give us 1 liter of head space. And I already measured out the hops. I will be using 11 gram Magnum, 11 gram of Sass and 11 gram of Pearly hops. I'm aiming for middle of the road for a Pilsner style beer because I want some sort of weighing room, so I'm aiming in the middle. Usually becomes balanced beer if you just do your math. This is 1 liter of boiled up water, and this is a trick. This will squirt. You will hurt yourself. Just put something there. Trying to clean my funnel here also. See this, set en timer på 10 minuter. I steamed up my camera. Timer is running. Let's shake this up. We should also add some yeast nutrient. Brew Nutri from Angel Yeast. Always treat your yeast. Kind of winging it, but it's shake and brew. And we shake it up to dissolve it. And the 10 minutes, that has to do with the bitterness. This should get us around 10:45. We're aiming for that. So just did a big batch, was aiming for the same. It's for an experiment also. Shake it like the doctor, shake it like... I just shook a kegmenter, so this feels fantastic. But when we add the last bit of the water, it will weigh more. As we're using metric, this is quite easy. We're using a 9-liter keg. And if you can't see this, I'm so sorry, the doctor will fix it here, outside here. Yes, that's an 8-liter batch. And we already added 1 liter. That means we have to add 7 more liter. 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilo. So we need a scale. Where's my scale? Yeah. Timer's up. Stop it. So now we need to get this down in temperature to be able to pitch our yeast. Press tear. We fill up with 7 kilos of water. This is really soft water, by the way. Pilsner water. Ooh, she's a squirter. Almost. Oh, I hit the microphone again. Nice. 50 grams shy. I have a little squirt in this one. Let's see if we can get it in here. 7 kilo. Put this back on. Just gonna shake it up to mix it. And of course, this will also aerate the wort. BF27. Angel Yeast, lager yeast. Just open this bag, so I just brewed. So I'm gonna use what's left. We might call this overpitch. Maybe I will not use it all. but you should not be afraid for over pitching. Cask switch, hose, pressure lid. Let's go. I put some pressure on here just to be able to dial in my expanding valve. I will be fermenting this at 20 Celsius. This yeast can really handle the high heat. And I do have an experiment with hot fermentation of the BF27. I will link down below to those videos. Spilling everywhere. Oh, and I have an expensive camera down there also. Just for the crouch shot. The crouch camera is of course only for patrons and channel members. We'll do a special episode for you after this. Thank you so very much. Don't ask me about this one because I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I will do a video about it. Not sure. We'll see how we like it. It is small. 17 psi-ish, a heating mat. You see me only using heat to control this. This is my no fridge method, and I have a video about this method, and I will link to that video down below. So even though I am using a fridge for the other one, I'm just using it really for the space. This method works fine, so you should definitely check out that video if you haven't. If you don't have a fridge. I have a fridge, but I have just one fermentation fridge going right now. So hopefully here, if nothing goes wrong, you can jump to the tasting. There you had it, to the fermentation. Then now we have the beer. Crystal clear, bright smelling, citrusy notes, light fruitiness. Yeah, cheers. I actually tried to do shaken pills before, but I didn't get the bitterness level I wanted, so I called that something else instead and moved on with other beers. But I needed to get back to the shaken pills. This is it. This is the shaken pills. I should probably do like a recipe book for the shaken brew. This is an extremely good beer. No diacetyl, so it's more like a German pils, and it got that extra bite of a pilsner and not like a more sweet Helles. This has a nice level bitterness to it, a nice bite. Chewy is not really friend just yet with this new basket. This looks like more like a tub, but he chews them. What can we do? Let's run through the numbers of the fermentation and also why this beer didn't clear as I thought it would. These were fermented under pressure. I think started around 20 psi-ish as 20 degrees Celsius. And if I say anything not correct, the editing doctor will correct everything down here. Thank you. And convert everything into birds and stones as usual. So started at 20 and fermentation kicked off like instantly. Did I mention that this is a DME beer? I also made an LME beer. We just to come about that. And after like 3 days of fermentation, I started ramping up the temperature. So I ended up at 25 Celsius in the end. That's hot for a lager, I know, but it's under pressure. And I also done some serious experimentation with this yeast, and the results are really impressive. I will try to link also to like the hot lagers and stuff. Yeah, links, many of them down below here. This fermented out in a couple of days, but I let it sit for some extra days, ramping it up to like ensure everything was done, because I'm too lazy to take a measurement. Yes, I know. Leave a nasty comment. This started on OGO 1045 and fermented down to, are you sitting down? 1003. But I have had some impressive results from this yeast earlier also. Are you hot, Chewy? I'm gonna scooch him over. Scooch, there it is. Scooch, there it is. It's colder. Yes. And you would think that this might drink thin, that it would be a thin beer, but it's actually not. The extra alcohol helps also, of course, a little bit. So this is about 5.5%. So what was the issue with clearing? I have let these beers, these two beers, this is the DME and also the LME version, sit for a very long time, because I brewed this quite some time ago, but I have been so busy with the puppy and building their kennel, which I will release an epic video on my DrHans kennel channel one day. I have tried them for patrons and channel members earlier, and yes, thank you so much for your support. And as always, like the recipes for you in the DrHans recipe book, they are also available in the Beer XML. Nice. Now they have been sitting for quite some time. This is like the third time I'm recording this video because of that. The LME version was almost like crystal clear and the DME wasn't. And I couldn't find any like off flavors on this. This were fermented out super clean by the BF27. No sign of infection. So what went wrong? I made a song about it.
Yo, get around, listen up, let me make it clear, bitch. This is the story of DrHans and the beer that wouldn't clear. Once upon a time in the woods so green, lived a brewer, DrHans, with a mean routine. With his pups, Chewy and Leia by his side. In that cozy little brewery, they had nothing to hide. Brewing batches, yeah, the kettle's on flow. One with DME, the other LME, watch them glow. Chewy and Leia curious with those puppy eyes. DrHans working hard under those sunny skies. Beer's done and ready, DrHans took a sip. One was clear as crystal, but the other made him flip. While one so cloudy and the other so bright, Chewy and Leia wondering too, something ain't right. DrHans and his pups brewing day and night, solving beer mysteries, getting it right. With love and care, they brew all day in the Swedish crib, making magic every way. DrHans check the keg, maybe that dip tube stuck, but pouring it out, still no luck. Foggy beer, he scratched his head. Chewy and Leia watching as he went to bed. In his sleep with pups at his feet, Tiggy rolled through with a vibe so sweet. Don't give up, she whispered with a tail, wait, no fail. Keep on trying, DrHans, you're gonna prevail. Morning light hit, hope back inside. DrHans added gelatin pots right by his side. Sunshine streamed a brand new plan. Chewy and Leia cheering for their favorite man. 1 week later, pouring crystal clear. Golden brew sparkle, yeah, bring it here. Chewy and Leia dancing, tails wagging fast. DrHans smiling wide, his hard work paid off at last. DrHans compared beers side by side, 1 and 2 degrees, other 8, no lie. Colder makes it clearer, he laughed at the thought, lesson learned from the brew that they got. DrHans, Chewy, Leia, laughing with a cheer. Up in the clouds, Tiggy smiling near. In that cozy brewery with love so true, they celebrated hard with a glass of perfect brew. DrHans and his pups brewing day and night, solving beer mysteries, getting it right. With love and care, they brew all day in the Swedish crib, making magic every way.
As you heard in the song, my first idea was maybe my floating dip tube is stuck. It have never happened before, but it can of course happen. So maybe it's drawing stuff from the bottom. If I were to compare the LME versus DME beer, and one would look like a hazy and one would look like a clear lager, that video would suck. Just like my channel. So I thought I need to find out what's wrong here. My channel is about experimentation, learning with you, and failure is totally okay here on my channel. So I needed to find out, is it the dip tube? So I carefully took out the keg, opened it up and poured myself a glass. I had only 1 shot of doing this and it was still hazy. Of course, that stirred up everything. Put everything back, purged the headspace and tried to pour another beer. And it looked like the most haziest hazy you can think of. I thought maybe this experiment is a no-go, call it off. Maybe just do the LME beer for the video. But then I remembered why I'm doing this channel, why you're watching these videos, is for me to push on. I decided, okay, now let's put some gelatin on it to be able to push on to do the experiment. If you don't know about gelatin and beer, it's super simple. And if you're vegan, fuck off. I'll link down below to my clear beer with gelatin video. Hope that is still relative, but it should be because I'm doing the exact same. So I gave it a week.
1 week later.
Came out crystal clear. Tried it yesterday for patrons and channel members. Tried the hazy, it's not the same. The hazy beer was like full flavor. It wasn't like this crisp. We have a really nice lager here. So much better than a lot of beer we can get here in Sweden from Swedish macro brewers, even micro and craft beer brewers. They can't brew lagers. Yeah, I've said it. Get another nice comment and a like would highly appreciate it, but please don't subscribe. I don't want any more subscribers. So what was the mistake I made? Because DME is not making it more hazy than LME, I don't believe that. And as there's clearly not a sign of any infection that could do it, there's no other differences between the beers. Yeah, I'm not talking about the beer, but there will come another video comparing those beers. But we need to like try to separate the content here. Yesterday I was doing a BS video for patrons and channel members, and I checked my fridges, which I thought were running at the same temperature. They were not. This was set to 2 degrees Celsius. This one. This is my yeast fridge. 2 degrees Celsius. And the keezer here was set to 8 degrees Celsius. Of course I know that beer will clear faster if it's colder. But I actually thought they were about the same temperature. But that's quite the difference. Even though this was sitting at 8 degrees Celsius, that beer had been sitting for a couple of months. So I still think that should have cleared up naturally without the gelatin. So I'm not 100, but if you have any suggestions what could have went wrong, the only thing I can think of now is that the LME beer was sitting at 2 degrees Celsius, the DME beer was sitting at 8 degrees Celsius. That's quite a difference. That is the only thing. If you have any other ideas, because everything was the same with these two beers. Besides, one was brewed with DME and one was brewed with LME. The other one is clear. You have to take my word for it. With you coming, this turned out amazing, and now I can finally finish the keg. But if you're not into extra brewing, try to brew this one. One of the best lagers I ever made with hops from my garden. Sneaky.